Why do centuries-old barns and temples endure, standing tall and proud through the harshest winters and the hottest summers, while our modern wooden decks and porches seem to crumble and rot away in just a handful of years? What is it about these old structures that allows them to defy time, weather, and neglect when our new builds so often fail? It's a question that puzzles homeowners and builders alike. Why does wood that's been standing for centuries look better than wood installed just a decade ago? The answer isn't as simple as blaming the quality of the lumber or the tools we use. The real difference lies deeper. It's not just about materials or technology, it's about philosophy, about the mindset and wisdom that guided the hands of those early builders. They approached wood as something living, something to be understood and respected, not just a commodity to be shaped and covered up. Old builders saw wood as alive, working with its nature, not against it. They studied the grain, the way it moved and breathed with the seasons. Their craft was a partnership with the material, not a battle to dominate it. Their secret? Managing water, not trying to seal it out completely. They knew that water was inevitable, and instead of fighting it, they designed ways for it to flow away, to dry out, to never linger long enough to cause harm. They designed so moisture could always escape, preventing rot before it started. Ventilation, overhangs, and clever joinery allowed air to circulate and wood to breathe, keeping it healthy for generations. Today, we rely on chemicals and plastic coatings, hoping to create perfect barriers. We trust in modern science to keep water out, but often forget that no barrier is truly perfect. But a single crack lets water in, trapping it beneath the surface, accelerating decay. Instead of protecting the wood, these barriers can turn a small problem into a disaster, as trapped moisture has nowhere to go. The old way embraced nature's cycles. Our modern approach often ignores them, and we pay the price. When we forget to work with nature, our buildings suffer, and so do we. To build for the future, we must remember what the past knew so well, that true durability comes from understanding, respect, and harmony with the natural world. Only then can we hope to create wooden structures that will stand the test of time, just as our ancestors did. For centuries, traditional builders developed a deep understanding of wood's natural behavior. They knew that wood is a living material, always responding to its environment, swelling when it absorbs moisture from the air and shrinking as it dries out. Instead of fighting these changes, they learned to anticipate and accommodate them, working in harmony with the rhythms of nature. Rather than trying to make wood completely waterproof, these craftsmen designed buildings that could safely get wet and then dry out again. They accepted that rain and humidity were inevitable and focused on creating structures that could recover from wet conditions, season after season. Think of it like a wool coat. It keeps you warm and dry, not by sealing out every drop of water, but by allowing air to circulate and moisture to escape. In the same way, old wooden buildings managed moisture by letting it move freely, never trapping it inside. Carpenters would carefully study the grain of each timber, orienting boards to shed water and protecting the vulnerable end grain from direct exposure. They used clever details, like sloped sills, wide eaves, and wooden gutters, to guide water away from the most sensitive parts of the structure. Every joint, every overhang, was designed with water in mind, ensuring that it would flow off and away rather than seeping in. In contrast, many modern construction methods rely on caulks, sealants, and plastic barriers to keep water out. While these materials can be effective at first, they often create hidden pockets where moisture can become trapped, especially as they age and begin to fail. When these barriers break down, water finds its way in, but now it has nowhere to go. Trapped behind layers of impermeable material, moisture lingers and rot can set in quickly, causing damage that's often invisible until it's too late. The wisdom of the past was simple and effective. If you can't stop water from coming in, make sure it can always find a way out. By encouraging drainage and ventilation, traditional builders created homes that could endure for generations. Today, our challenge is to rediscover and adapt these time-tested principles. We need to design buildings that work with nature, not against it, embracing materials that breathe and details that allow for movement and drying. When we let wood breathe, we honor its natural strengths. In return, it rewards us with beauty, durability, and a legacy that can last for centuries. Old builders lifted their structures off the ground, using stone foundations to keep wood dry. This simple elevation protected timber from splashback and rising damp. Air circulated beneath, drying the base and adding decades to a building's life. Modern decks and sheds often ignore this, setting posts directly in or on concrete. Concrete wicks moisture too, and without airflow, rot sets in at ground level. A small lift, just a few inches, can make all the difference. Sometimes, the simplest solutions are the most effective. Traditional builders shaped every detail to shed water fast. Steep roofs and wide eaves kept rain off walls and foundations. Even windowsills were sloped, with drip grooves to direct water away. These details worked with gravity, not against it. Modern designs often favor flat surfaces and rely on sealants alone. When those fail, water pools and seeps in, starting the rot. The old wisdom, always give water a way out. Good design is about guiding water away, not just blocking it. Airflow is wood's silent protector. Old buildings were designed to breathe. Walls and foundations allowed air to circulate, drying out any moisture. Vapor-permeable materials let water vapor escape, keeping timber dry. Gaps under siding and between foundation stones weren't flaws, they were features. Modern construction chases airtightness for energy efficiency, but traps moisture inside if anything goes wrong. A sealed wall becomes a humid box, and hidden rot can destroy a structure. The lesson: balance energy savings with the need for wood to dry out. Let your building breathe, and it will endure. For centuries, people have relied on natural oils to protect and preserve wood, oils like linseed, tung, and pine tar. These time-tested finishes have been used by generations of craftsmen, boat builders, and homeowners who understood the unique needs of wood. Natural oils penetrate deep into the grain, nourishing the fibers from within and enhancing the wood's natural beauty. When applied, these oils soak in, creating a subtle barrier that repels water while still allowing vapor to escape. This means the wood can breathe, expanding and contracting with changes in humidity, without being suffocated by a hard, impermeable layer. Maintenance is refreshingly simple. Just clean the surface and reapply oil as needed. There's no need for harsh scraping, sanding, or dealing with peeling layers. The process is gentle, and the results are long-lasting. In contrast, modern plastic coatings like varnish and polyurethane form a rigid, glossy film on top of the wood. While they may look flawless at first, these coatings are inflexible and can't move with the wood as it naturally swells and shrinks. Over time, even a tiny crack or chip in the plastic surface allows water to seep underneath. But instead of letting the wood dry out, the plastic traps the moisture inside, creating the perfect environment for decay and rot to set in. Ironically, the very coating meant to shield the wood can become its downfall, accelerating the damage it was supposed to prevent. Once rot begins, repairs are often costly and difficult. Natural oils work in harmony with wood's nature, enhancing its resilience and beauty. Plastic coatings, on the other hand, fight against the wood's natural tendencies, and in the end, they almost always lose. If you want your wood to last for generations, choose finishes that nourish and protect, rather than smother and seal. Natural oils are easy to maintain, environmentally friendly, and keep your wood looking and feeling alive. Sometimes the old methods really are the best. They've stood the test of time, preserving everything from ancient doors to family heirlooms. Listen to your wood. Let it tell you when it needs a little care, and it will reward you with beauty and durability for years to come. Old builders accepted that some parts would wear out first. They made these sacrificial elements, like cladding or rafter tails, easy to replace. When a board rotted, it was swapped out, protecting the main structure. This practical approach kept buildings sound for centuries. Modern construction often makes repairs difficult, with hidden fasteners and adhesives. One small failure can mean a major, costly fix. Designing for easy repair is smarter and more sustainable. Expect some parts to fail and plan for it. That's how you build for the long haul. The past teaches us to work with nature, not against it. Elevate wood, shed water, let air flow, and design for repair. Use finishes that breathe, not sealants that suffocate. Small design choices, like sloped boards and air gaps, add decades to a structure's life. Embrace maintenance as part of the process, not a failure. The wisdom of old barns and temples is practical, not nostalgic. Build with these lessons, and your work will stand the test of time.